Oh bro, this is gonna be a long one. G'day guys, welcome to the channel. Episode 10 in the collection showcase series, and this one's probably gonna be the biggest one I'm ever gonna do in a long time. A monster collection from an ultra heavy, I don't even know how much heavier can you get with this collection. So Watchitchat reached out to me on Instagram. I'll link his Instagram below. And he hit me between the eyes, slapped me across the face with this monster collection. We're talking 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 watches in this guy's collection. And basically he's reached out and has asked me to get my honest thoughts and opinions on his collection. But also, watching my videos, he's had a thought about consolidating a few pieces, and I went a step above and beyond for you here. So I don't want to talk nonsense, I don't want to waste your time, because you've taken the time to obviously reach out to me to do this collection showcase. And I'm going to put your collection up here. I'm going to have a photo here for the viewers to see. But I'm also going to try and show you this spreadsheet I've been working on. Now, what I've done is gotten the retail prices for most of your collection. Some of them I just simply can't get the retail price for. And I've researched every single one of them on the used grey secondary market on Chrono24, as well as with contacts in the industry. Now, I'm going to share with you a tip that a lot of watch dealers, secondary dealers do, is they look at Chrono24, especially here in Australia, look at the average prices in the country, and they'll minus 10% of it. From there, they'll minus an additional 10-20% depending on the margin they want to make there. And that's basically what they'll do to buy your watch wholesale off you. So it's not a foolproof system. There are certain watches that increase in value as opposed to decrease, and there's other watches out there that plummet in value. So going through your collection here, look, I'm not going to do this in order because there's just way too much in terms of like the picture you showed me. I'm going to do this in order of value in terms of what we have here from a trade-in and market price amount, so to speak. I think that's the easiest way to do this, just to get an understanding of what your watches are worth right now in terms of its value and what you can get from them. And in this video, I'll also give you my top picks to move. But I'll be honest with you, man, you got a lot of pieces here. You're gonna get slaughtered on the top picks that I'm actually gonna recommend you to move, because the ones that you should be moving are the ones, logically speaking, that retain the most value. However, unfortunately, those pieces are quite hard to get. You wouldn't want to do that. And I don't know if you paid retail for some of these. I'm assuming you did because you're super heavy. But hey, we'll just get into it. So the first watch here, and I'll just rapid fire through these. We got a Vacheron Constant Overseas, market value $30,000. Vacheron Constant American 1921, again, $30,000. GMT Master 2 Pepsi, $29K. Submariner no dates, $17K. 36 Wimbledon date just around 16K Aussie, and this is Australian dollars we're talking. You got a Zenith Device Skeleton, again another 15K. JLC Reverso Large around 12K. Panerai Luminor, maybe 10, maybe if you're lucky. Omega Dark Side of the Moon, 10K. Defy Extreme Diver, 8K. Santos Large, blue, I think it was blue, 8K. Grand Seiko White Birch, lucky to get 7.5. Seamaster Bond Anniversary, again another 7.5, maybe 8. JLC Master Control Calendar, maybe 8, maybe. I'm hearing 17,500 in the market, but maybe. Bulgari Octoroma, 7,000. Omega World Timer, 7,000. Speedmaster 2019, your first watch, net you a cheeky 5.5, maybe 6. Cartier Tank Basculante, maybe 5 grand. Tank Louis, maybe about 5. IWC Mark 18, I'm assuming that's Le Petit Prince, and you've put it on a bracelet, I'm thinking. About 4.5. Omega Diver 300 Heritage, around 4.5. Fears Brunswick, ooh, that one's hard, man. Probably a grand, maybe 1.5. The Omega Constellation TV, about a grandish, maybe. I don't know too much about it. I couldn't find too much info on it, but maybe a grand. Studio Underdog 02 series, I actually saw one today, that was quite nice. You might get about 600 for it. You got the Furlan Mari, about 600. I saw that brand today, that was actually quite nice. The Moon's Watch Pluto, probably gonna get only 150. Sorry if I swear, it's just a lot to go through here. It's got a Swatch Goku as a gift. I'm not even going to put a price on that. The Casio, not going to bother. The Seiko 5 and the Prospex Diver, not going to bother. And your two Powermatic PRXs, you'll probably get $200 off them. So I'm going to give you this spreadsheet as well, just to give you a helping hand with your decision. Now, the guy, he mentioned that he put his name down for a Daytona Panda, a Calatrava 6119R, a Nautilus 5712. You're missing a Tourbillon, which I'm not gonna dabble onto that because I don't know much about tourbillons. I'm not in that tax bracket like you are, man, so I won't be able to give you advice on that. And you're thinking of also getting a perpetual calendar from JLC in solid gold, which I've seen as well, which is nice. I'm gonna have the retail prices and as well as the Chrono 24 prices up on this spreadsheet for you, just to give you a helping hand. But in this collection, brother, if you don't buy anything else, man, you'll be sweet for the rest of your life. Seriously. I think what you're missing here are a couple of full gold pieces, especially on bracelets. So, look, if this was my collection, I would be probably driving a Mercedes AMG by now, but if this was my collection, I'd probably just hold off. I wouldn't bother moving a lot of these because you're gonna get slaughtered, man. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the picks that I have, you're gonna get decimated. But the picks that you should be moving, like the Rolexes, there's no point in moving because if you want to buy them again, and I'm assuming you're paying retail for these pieces because you're super heavy, you're getting charged a premium on a lot of these options here. Like the Pepsi, they retail for about $17.5 here in Australia, and look, they're going for about $29, $30, something like that on the aftermarket used secondary gray. So that's an $11,500 premium that you would have to pay if you wanted to pick that up again. That's why there's just no point. A couple of the other stuff here, like the Rolex Submariner No Day, that's a $2,350 premium that you're going to pay, and I'm assuming you paid retail for these. Otherwise, it's not worth getting rid of them, man, because you're just going to lose your money, and you're going to lose more if you decide you want it back again. So the Rolexes I would keep. The Vacherons, man, you will get absolutely decimated. Now, I don't know the exact models. I just use Google Lens to find out what the Vacherons that you have are. The Constantin overseas, according to Google Lens, it tells me the retail price is about $41,700, but market price for them in terms of wholesale, trading them in, you're only going to get about 30 grand, so you lost 11,700. It's not worth doing, but the Vacherons are an amazing piece, a very, very grail-worthy piece for a lot of people, even for myself. So I wouldn't bother getting rid of that. The American, that's a heavy boy right there. I don't know if this is the white gold. I don't know too much about them. I've only ever seen a rose gold for sale at Halewood and Peters. I haven't bought off them, but they were selling it for about 30-something K. According to the Vacheron website, the retail for these are about 67,500, so 67,500. You're losing 37,500 for that, so I wouldn't bother getting rid of that neither. So the Rolexes and Vacherons, keep them. The JLC Reverso Large, that's a good piece, I would just keep that. The Panerai Luminor, have one PAM in the collection, one and done, sorted. He mentioned to me that he's very Omega heavy, so I'll get to the picks to move in a bit, but just going through the list here. The Zenith Defy Skeleton, that's actually one I would move on. Omega Dark Side of the Moon, I would move that on. The Cartier Santos Large, just keep that. That's a good piece. The Grand Seiko White Birch, just keep that. Grand Seiko, you're gonna get slaughtered if you get rid of it. So, look, I just got rid of a Grand Seiko myself, and I didn't get slaughtered, but I have a relationship with my guy, so I don't know about you. He's based in Brisbane, this gentleman here. So, look, if you have a dealer that'll do you a solid and give you a fair deal, by all means, you can try and get rid of it. But the way it is, I would probably just keep it because retail actually went up recently. Retail for these, I don't know if this is current or previous, 13,600, and you'll only get 7 grand for it, man. 7.5 at max. So you're losing nearly 40%, 45%. So I'd keep it. Seamaster Bond Anniversary, I love that watch. Just keep it. It's great. The Master Control Calendar, that's one actually I'd put on the move list because of the next choices that you have. The Bulgari Octaroma, I like that piece, but I would move it. So you'll probably get maybe 7,000 for it. And the reason for that is with the Octaroma, I just realized your Santos is the white one, isn't it? Let me just check the picture. There's too many watches here, bro. There's too many. Yeah, you got the white Santos. I was wrong. It's not the blue Santos, white Santos. Keep the Santos, move the Octaroma because it clashes between the two. You've got two nice integrated watches. Yes, one's is a square and one's is an octagon, but whatever, man. Just, you got too much money here, bro. You got too much money pocket. Sorry, man. I'm just playing with you. I'm just saying, man. Like the Octaroma, I would keep the Santos and then move the Octaroma. World Timer, I would keep. That's a nice watch. Speedmaster 2019, I would keep that. You could flip it if you wanted to. You could probably make money. I got a Speedmaster 2018 as my first watch, and I bought it for 5 grand, sold it for about 5.5. So I don't know how much you paid for yours, but that's a safe keep or release, whatever you want. Cartier Tank and the Tank Louis, I would keep because I don't know if they're vintage. I don't know too much about the market values and what people would buy them for. I know a dealer here in Sydney that I'm cool with. He's cool. I like him a lot. He trades a lot in vintage Cartiers or older Cartiers, and they're really cheap from his perspective as well. So I don't know if you'll end up getting the 5 grand that I've estimated for you here. So it might just be worth keeping. IWC Mark 18, I'm gonna tell you to move that. From a field watch perspective, I don't think you would find yourself wearing this one too often, so I think just move it on. The Omega Diver 300 Heritage, move that on because you've got the sub. I don't see yourself wearing this one too often. I'm not sure if you do or not, but I would definitely move that on. I've moved mine on, and actually my friends, I have 2 of them who bought the same watch. They've moved them on already. So keep that in mind. And the rest here, look, the Fears, the Furlan, the Studio Underdog, the Moon Swatch, the PRXs, the rest of the lower valuated watches, I'm not going to bother touching on because you're not going to be able to sell them. You can just give them away. You're not going to get much money out of them anyways. And if you do, you're not going to get it as a trade-in. You're going to get it as a private sale. And bro, with your tax bracket here, I don't think you have the time to do private sales with people on Facebook Marketplace, so I'll just ignore those. Now, my top picks to move here, and you're not gonna like this, and this is just the reality of buying stuff that's not Rolex or Patek or AP, is that when you start looking at consolidating, you're gonna get pumped. Now, this is the low end. I'm lowballing you here. I'm thinking like a dealer because their responsibility and their job is to lowball you. However, expect to be lowballed even further. This is just a guide, maybe add or minus 10% on the final price I give you for these pieces. But let's get into it. Zenith Defy Skeleton. You're gonna get about 14, 15 for that there. Sucks, I know. The retail for that is 27,100. You're losing about 12 grand. I know it sucks, but that's one that I chose specifically in your collection because from an integrated watch perspective, if you're gonna go AP, PP, I don't think you'll find the time to be going back to the skeleton piece. It's a nice piece, but I'm just thinking about your next potential pickups. When are you gonna find the time to rock the Zenith skeleton, right? So that's 15K. The Omega Dark Side of the Moon retails 21K. You probably get 10K out of it. 10K, that's 25K you have to play with. The Diver 300 Heritage, you're not gonna get much, only 4.5K. I know because I've actually flipped a few of them myself, and not for profit. I'm actually flipping them on behalf of friends of mine, right? And that's what they got, 4.5K. The Bulgari, you might get 7. The IWC, you might get 4.5. And the JLC Master Control calendar, you might get 7.5. So that leaves you with about 48,500 to play with. Now, in saying that, you mentioned you wanted the JLC Perpetual Calendar Rose Gold. Retail for that is about 84.5, which that's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. However, on the used secondary market, we're looking at about 61K. So if you're lucky enough to find one from a dealer who will accept these trade-ins, I think that's your best bet, man, because you don't have any obvious gold pieces in your collection. I'm not sure if your Vacheron is a white gold piece or a rose gold. Let me actually look at the photo. Last time I checked, it was like steel looking. And I think it's white gold, I'm not sure. I think it's white gold. but you don't have any gold pieces in your collection, I feel like that'll be a nice piece just to cap off a nice collection that you have here. An all rose gold. I believe you showed me the picture of the one on the green strap. I think it's rubber. That's a nice piece. Not too much of a cash outlay on your end, but that's a lot of watches and a lot of money just for one. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 watches trading in just for one, plus cash their way. So I don't know how you want to play this, man, but yeah, the JLC, that's a good pick. Out of the other selections that you have for potential pickups, you know, you've got the JLC, you've got the Daytona Panda, the Calatrava, the Patek, the AP, and the potential Tourbillon. I'm not going to even bother with the Tourbillon because, again, don't know too much about it. I feel like the JLC is probably the way to go, just because it has the complications to replace the other master control that you have, but also it's a solid rose gold piece. I like that idea. I think you're right on the money. It's going to be just difficult to find this on the secondary used gray, but if you have the money to get it retail, you know, you can move the 48,500 in the 6 pieces I just told you. That'll help you out. The Panda, those 6 pieces can just give you a straight trade for that. So it's 6 for 1, man. But look, I guess my advice to you is quality over quantity, you know. So you got, there's too many pieces here, bro. Like the cheaper stuff here, I would probably start giving them away as gifts. Like the PRXs, like you got a nice Santos, why are you gonna wear the PRX? They're nice watches, don't get me wrong, they're nice. But it's just like you got a lot of heavy hitting watches there that, you know, unless you're double wristing every single day, you're not gonna give them much wrist time. Yeah, so let's just get back on track here. The picks that you wanna, the potential picks that you have, stick with the JLC, just keep it simple. Get that one there, focus on that, because the Panda, you can always get a Panda if you wanted to. You're heavy, brother, so you can just get the Panda whenever you want. The Patek and the AP, look, the Pateks that you've told me, the Nautilus 5712, they're 100 grand plus, man, so that's a lot of money. And then the Calatrava is about 50 G's. But then the Calatrava is just kind of like a dress watch, which you have nice dress watches here already, and the Nautilus is just a big lot of people. Again, sorry for swearing, it's just, that's what it is, it's a like, yeah. That's heavy piece. The AP, I found a few APs for about 50 G's. I was actually thinking about consolidating into an AP, but yeah, I want to have a bit of variety in my collection instead of just having one big piece here. So I feel like your JLC Rose Gold Perpetual Calendar is the way to go. Now, if you want to move the pieces I've recommended to you, the reason for them is that, like with the Dark Side of the Moon and the 300 Heritage, you got other pieces there. You've got a normal Speedy, you've got the Sub, you're not going to wear these. The Octoroma, you've got the Santos, you're not going to wear them. The IWC, I don't feel like you're going to wear this one too often. And in the JLC Master Control, if you get the Perpetual Calendar, it just kind of defeats the purpose of having the Master Control. And the Zenith Defy, same reason for the Santos and the Vulgari, is that you have the Santos. And in the future, you could get your AP and Patek in the future. But overall, man, look, I'm gonna send you this screenshot for the Excel sheet that I made for you. Use it as a guide, kind of play around with it yourself. It's just gonna be a screenshot. And yeah, figure this out on your own, man. Like my advice is move the ones that I recommended. But if it was me in my position, I would just stick with this collection here.
Final tidbit as well, Matey sent me a message after recording this and asked me about the Vacheron Constant 222 solid gold and PRJ Polo solid gold. And you know what? The overarching advice was you need a solid gold piece. Need is a funny thing to say on a solid gold piece, but out of the two, I definitely go the Vacheron 222. That's something of a grail of a lot of people, mine included as well. But that's something that's way, way out of the realm of possibility for us mere mortals. So definitely the Vacheron. The Polo is good as well, it's nice. I just more prefer the Vacheron look and feel. If you were gonna get both, I would just go with the Vacheron. Don't get both, just because that's just too similar. I'd lean towards the Vacheron 222. The Polo is nice as well. If you can get both, I mean, why not? But personally for me, if I was to go into the gold game, I'd get the Vacheron 222 if I had the money, which I don't, nor the exclusivity of being a respected customer from the AD. They're not gonna give me an allocation. So they might give you an allocation. Me, definitely not. So Vacheron. I would try day date. Have a look at the day dates to see if they tickle your fancy. I've seen a few day dates recently, and yeah, that's something of a grail of mine as well. The Polo, not so much, not really my flavor, but it's nice. If you can pull it off, by all means, give it a try, but Polo, not my flavor.
Yeah, so Monster Collection, man. I spent a lot of time doing the spreadsheet for you, so hopefully I've been able to be of some sort of service for you here. But that's the video. I don't want to ramble on too long. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.